D.W. Waterson, Devery Jacobs, welcome to That Shelf.
That shelf.
It's such a pleasure to be speaking with you both about Backspot, not just the debut feature for UDW in the director's chair, but also the debut for Night is Why, which is your really exciting banner that I am really excited for after seeing this film because I really enjoyed this film and I have so many questions about it. I kind of want to start from the beginning, sort of talking about Night is Why and your partnership together. Where did that begin? What was sort of the inception to start a company together? And then how did the short version of Backspot sort of come into that collaboration?
Totally. So I had been using kind of the banner of Night is Why for a while. I did my digital series, That's My DJ, under the banner Night is Why. And so, that was just kind of something I was doing and found a lot of success with. When Dev and I kind of met, we met at a film institute, kind of realized there was just so much overlap, and especially how we brought so much passion for telling stories from our communities, the queer community, the Indigenous community, and we just really clicked on that level. And so that kind of led us into developing Backspot and diving into this proof of concept, because we knew when people think cheerleaders, they think polished and shiny and comedy, and I knew I wanted to kind of take a different approach. So we kind of collaborated together to make this proof of concept 5 years ago. And that really kind of started to snowball, like how well we work together.
You had this proof of concept. I remember seeing that short. And when I heard that this was making the feature transition, I was really excited. I assume that feature was always kind of in the back of both of your brains because you know these worlds and are so interested in these worlds. But when was it officially go time where you both felt like, okay, this story needs to get the 90-minute treatment?
I think it was immediately after we wrapped doing the proof of concept back in 2017. And we spent 5 years working with Joanne Sarrazin, who is our incredible writer who wrote, honestly, her first draft was shootable, but we wanted to make sure that it was through our voices and our lens, and that we wanted to make sure that we were hitting the points specifically around queerness and that we wanted to move forward with. And yeah, I think from the jump, we knew it needed to be a feature.
There are so many artistic different touches in this film that I really want to touch on. And DW, I want to start with you in terms of the score, which is such a pulsating, propulsive element to the film. And of course, I know that your experience as a DJ plays a role in this. I know that there are some mixes you provide, but also KCMQ, their contributions as well. Talk to me about where the decision came to specifically have that electronic focus in the score, and then working with Casey to implement it into the feature.
Totally. I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. Being a DJ and an electronic music DJ, I always knew that was kind of the soundtrack for the film. Even cheerleading, it's all very electronic music based. I'm a big fan of Casey. We've known each other for a while. We've even done a song together. And so for me, it was a no-brainer in reaching out with him. And we really just, we kind of started with adding a lot of elements and kind of then stripped things back, because we never wanted to take over the scene. We wanted to support what the actors were doing rather than kind of forcing emotions down the audience. This is a sad scene. This is an exciting scene. We really wanted to let the visuals and the actors kind of take the lead, and for the music just to be there to kind of enhance the experience.
Devery, I heard an interview with you where you spoke about Page Boy Productions and Elliot Page and them being very hands-on in the production of this film. What was their contribution to this film? And when you say that they were so hands-on, are there specific things that you think of?
Normally, when you have a celebrity or A-lister come on to be an executive producer on a project, it's them like giving their stamp of approval, putting their name on it, and like that might be where it begins and ends. But that was like not the case for us with Page Boy. We weren't anticipating for them to be such close collaborators and partners with us in this, but some of the producers from Page Boy flew themselves out because we had a very limited budget with our production. But they were on set with us every single day as there were like indie film fires happening. They would be in there helping us and solving them with us. They're on our meetings of checking, like they're helping us move things forward all together and helping put this all together for the festival and in time. So So we couldn't have asked for better partners in creating this film.
Devery, keeping it with you, I know that you have experience as a professional gymnast. I assume that there's a bit of fitting into an old glove when going back into this film, and you can tell that it is so much of you in this film performing these routines. And I was wondering if you could speak to getting to really have that physicality in the film while also, of course, working with the rest of the cheerleading cast on these routines.
Yeah, I mean, it was a challenge. Again, being an indie feature, we didn't have the luxury of getting trainers for months on end and getting to have that all covered by production. I actually had to train on my own because leading into it, like I'm a young person, but this is a very youthful sport, and I need to look out for these old ass gymnast knees, and so I wanted to make sure I didn't get injured while filming it. I did essentially all of my own stunts in the film, and I wanted to make sure that my joints were protected, that I had the flexibility, that I had the foundation to support the physical demand that this role required. Basically, it was about 4 months that I was going to personal training, I was doing physiotherapy, I was going to open gymnastics and going to open cheer. And I had the foundations of tumbling and the gymnastics side down, but I knew zero about cheer when it comes to stunting and pyramids and backspotting in general. And when it comes to backspotting, like you almost have to be able to turn your brain off and your sense of danger off, because you're throwing somebody in the air and their head is literally coming back at you, and you have to not dodge. You need to just go in and make sure you're catching them and catching them in a way where you're not going to get like your tooth knocked out or your nose broken. It's a really heavy duty, hands-on and badass sport. And when people usually think of cheerleading, they think of the flyers, they think of the women being tossed in the air who have like the big smiles and are doing really obviously incredible stunts, but people don't often think about those who are at the foundation of the pyramid and the backspots that. So I guess with Backspot, we're trying to showcase and highlight the realities of this sport.
Yeah, I think the symbolism in the film, the way in which you as a backspot, the pressure of holding that foundation is tied to all the anxieties that the character feels is so potent. And that kind of leads me to my next question, DW. There are so many visual choices when portraying the mental health and anxiety of Riley's character. There's some tilt shift stuff I see there. There's like fast and slow motion, choosing when to use which in order to distort time in her world. And I was wondering if you could just sort of break down for me, there's obviously so many different choices you're making. What were some of the key visual factors for you when you were thinking about how am I going to portray this character's anxiety like in frame?
Totally. For me, the approach that I wanted to take throughout the entire film was I want the audience to feel and experience what Riley is feeling and experiencing. Where sometimes, we're seeing films, we're watching actors go through these monumental emotional scenes, but I really wanted the audience right in there with her, going through these same things. So I knew I really wanted to play with macro lenses and getting really, really close for more of kind of like the OCD scenes, and really playing with sound design and the score with KCMQ, heavy breathing and having like that bass coming in and out, and really giving the audience the experience of being Riley. Also opening the entire film with that kind of POV, like the audience starts as Riley, and then we reveal this is the character who we're going to go through this journey with. And also at a point in time, kind of throughout the film, we kind of pull back and see, Riley kind of going through the anxiety, instead of being right there with her, because the audience already knows what that experience is like. But for me, spending a lot of time on my shot list, I spent like 2-3 weeks, like really laying out everything I wanted to do. It wasn't just, throw up a camera and get what you can. It's why are we using this lens? Why are we this close? Why are we this far away?
We got every single shot on your shot list.
And then some.
Well, it comes through. The last question I have for you both is just about the sort of collaboration between you two. We've seen a lot of times where there are director and actor pairings who also produce, and everybody's collaboration is a little bit different, but I would love to hear from the both of you. How would you both describe what your particular collaborative process is like as a director and actor?
I think it's a bit of a dance.
It is a bit of a dance. I would say in the development, it's like we're all kind of we're collaborating and kind of building this. And then when we got to set, it was, you know, you go do your thing and I'm gonna do my thing. And it was more of like a support where it's like we're just constantly supporting what the other person needed, but like giving the space and freedom to the other person to like kind of fulfill what they creatively wanted to do.
I think there's also like a shorthand that we've developed between us where it's like, just as you're about to give me a note, I'm like, I got it. I know subliminally what you're about to say. Let's go. And it's just like tuning into each other and to the camera and kind of meeting in that middle ground. But we're also like very involved with the other actors as well. Of like, we did a lot of prep with our cast, but specifically with the actress who is playing Amanda Kudakwashe Rutendo, who is a TIFF Rising Star this year. Introducing Kudakwashe Rutendo, she is such an incredible actor, and we did so much prep work because the relationship between Riley and Amanda is so foundational to this, and really required a comfortability and intimacy and trust between not only the characters, but me and Kuda as actors. We're very collaborative with each other on set, but we're also collaborative with other people as well. And even though we had such limited time, we still managed to find like ways to discover and play and find unexpected moments in that.
Amazing. I love that relationship. It's one of my favorite parts of this film, a film that I really, really enjoy. Anybody who has the time to fit this into their TIFF schedule, if they can even get a ticket, should absolutely make it a part of their slate. DW Devery, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on the film.
Thank you so much.